the red pearl. Once upon a time, a team of lucky eggs went on a field trip to explore the ocean. While wearing their diving suits, the students and two teachers swam deeper and deeper, observing the changes in their surroundings. Finally, they reached the ocean floor. This place was very different from the other parts of the ocean. It was gloomy, quiet, and empty. There were no fishes around. Suddenly, the team noticed a mysterious red glow coming from behind a large rock and decided to go towards it. When they swam around the rock, they discovered that the glow was coming from a big, beautiful red coral. Impressed with its beauty, the team couldn't move as they stared at the coral with amazement. "Oh, look at that!" Mr. Dolly exclaimed and pointed at the place right in front of the coral. The class turned and saw a good amount of oyster shells laying on the sand. "Pearls!" Kitty shouted. So the team rushed over and grabbed the shells. Oscar, the turtle, was the last one to reach the place with the oysters. When he got there, he couldn't see anything left, so he went a little farther and found one lonely, rusty shell covered in sand and seaweed. Unimpressed, Oscar picked up the oyster shell and went back to join the class. When the team returned to their submarine, they went inside to open their shells to see what's inside. Upon opening the shells, each student found a pretty little white pearl. But not Oscar. He sat alone and stared at his rusty shell. "Go ahead," encouraged Ms. Aqua. "Aren't you curious about what's inside?"
"It looks so old and rusty," Oscar pronounced sadly. "I'm afraid my pearl will be worse than the others."
"It could be worse," Miss Aqua explained, "but it can also be better. You never know unless you open the shell and see what's inside."
"I guess you're right,"
replied the turtle. So slowly and carefully, Oscar opened his oyster shell. Immediately, he saw a red glow coming from the inside. The whole class got quiet and looked at Oscar's pearl. It was big, red, and glowed just like the coral they had seen earlier. Oscar's face lit up with joy and satisfaction. "Wow!" the class exclaimed. "I must admit I have never seen a pearl like this," said Mr. Dolly. "Truly special," exclaimed Ms. Aqua.
"You sure got the best pearl, Oscar,"
Kitty observed. Later that day, when Oscar returned to Lucky Island, he placed the red pearl on his table like a trophy. From now on, this beautiful pearl will always remind him that looks can be deceiving, so you have to look inside to see what the true value of something is. The end.